Dana Perino's a name that rings through American journalism, a voice of strength, a face of poise on Fox News. But behind that polished exterior lies a story that's raw, real, and remarkable. It's not just about her rise to the top, it's about the struggles she faced, the love that held her steady, and the grit that shaped her into the powerhouse we know today. What's the untold truth behind this media star? Let's dive into Dana Perino's journey, a tale of bold beginnings, hidden battles, and a legacy that's still lighting the way. Dana Perino's life hasn't always been the picture-perfect image you see on TV. Sure, she's the sharp, confident commentator we tune in for, but there's more to her than meets the eye. Recently, she pulled back the curtain on something deeply personal, her husband Peter McMahon's serious health struggles. It's a reminder that even the people we admire, the ones who seem unbreakable, carry heavy loads behind closed doors. Imagine holding it together on live TV while your heart's breaking at home. That's the reality Dana's faced, balancing the spotlight with a crisis most of us can only imagine. Peter's illness hit hard, shaking up their world with doctor visits, uncertainty, and fear. Dana's always been the steady one, calm under fire, quick with a smart take, but this tested her in ways no newsroom ever could. She didn't hide it, though. She opened up, showing us the cracks in her armor, the moments where she wasn't just a journalist but a wife fighting to keep her family whole. It's not weakness, it's humanity. And through it all, she kept going, proving that strength isn't about never falling, it's about standing back up when you do. This isn't a sob story, it's a fight song. Dana's love for Peter didn't just get her through, it fueled her. She'd rush from Fox Studios to his side, juggling deadlines and hospital rooms with a grace that's hard to fathom. That kind of resilience doesn't come easy, it's forged in fire. And it's a wake-up call, no one's immune to life's punches, not even the voices we trust on TV. Dana's struggles remind us that behind every success is a battle we don't always see, a quiet courage that keeps pushing forward. In the chaos of media life, family can be the rock you lean on, and for Dana Perino, that rock is Peter McMahon. Their love story started on a plane, random, unexpected, perfect. He was a British businessman, she was a rising political star. They clicked, and from that chance meeting grew a bond that's weathered storms most couples never face. When Peter's health took a dive, Dana didn't flinch. She stood by him, fierce and unwavering, showing what loyalty really looks like. Picture this, Dana's on air, breaking down the latest political drama, while her mind's half on Peter, his next appointment, his latest test results. She'd wrap a segment and head straight to him, trading the news desk for bedside chats. Their connection isn't just sweet, it's steel strong. Peter's her partner, her anchor, and she's his. They've faced down the unknown together, proving that love isn't just flowers and dates, it's holding hands through the dark. Dana talks about Peter with a warmth that cuts through her usual polish. You can hear it, he's her heart, her home. And that's not just talk, it's action. She's juggled a career that demands everything, late nights, tough calls, constant scrutiny, while making sure Peter knows he's never alone. It's a balancing act that'd break most people, but for Dana, it's fuel. Their bond's a lifeline, a reminder that family can carry you when the world feels too heavy. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving, together. Dana's story didn't start with TV lights or White House podiums. It kicked off in Evanston, Wyoming, a small, sleepy town where the sky's big and the dreams are bigger. Growing up, she wasn't handed anything easy. Life threw her curveballs early, bullying at school, the pressure to belong, the kind of stuff that sticks with you. But Dana didn't let it define her. She turned it into drive, a fire that burned quiet but hot. Her family kept her grounded. Her parents weren't famous or rich, just hard-working folks who taught her to keep going, no matter what. They pushed values, work hard, stand tall, help out, and those stuck. But it wasn't all smooth. Dana wrestled with finding her place, figuring out who she was in a world that didn't always cheer her on. High school changed that. She found her voice in writing, in speaking up, skills that lit a spark she'd carry far beyond Wyoming. Those tough years weren't a curse, they were a gift. Every taunt, every doubt, built a toughness she didn't even know she had. It's what made her the woman who'd later stare down press rooms and pundits without blinking. Evanston wasn't glamorous, but it was real, and it shaped a fighter who'd one day take on the world. Dana's career didn't just happen, it was carved out with sweat and guts. Fresh out of college, she stepped into a field that didn't roll out the red carpet for her. Politics and media. Cutthroat, skeptical, especially for a young woman from nowhere special. People saw her size, her soft voice, and figured she'd fold. They were wrong. Dana hit the ground running, diving into local politics with a hunger to learn and a knack for standing out. Her first real shot came with Congressman Dan Schaefer. It wasn't fancy, long hours, grunt work, but it was gold. She learned the ropes, how to talk to people, how to cut through the noise. That gig sharpened her, taught her to think fast and speak clear. She didn't stop there, internships, late nights, every chance she got to climb. In a man's world, she didn't just play the game, she rewrote it, proving she belonged with every sharp word. Then came the White House. Press secretary for George W. Bush, talk about a leap. It was sink or swim, and Dana swam. She faced down reporters, handled crises, kept her cool when the heat was on. That role didn't just test her, it defined her. She turned pressure into power, showing the world what she was made of. It was the dawn of something big, and Dana was just getting started. When Dana and Peter packed up for the UK, it wasn't just a move, it was a reset. Imagine leaving everything you know for a new country, new rules, new game. The British media scene was different, less brash, more layered, and Dana dove in headfirst. She took on new gigs, new debates, stretching her wings in ways the US hadn't let her. It was a chance to see the world bigger, to talk about more than just American politics. It wasn't easy. Homesickness hit, culture shock stung, and the pressure to prove herself never let up. But Peter was there, her steady hand through it all. They explored together, London streets, new faces, a life that felt fresh. Dana soaked it in, letting it sharpen her perspective. She started writing, sharing stories that bridged her two worlds, showing fans back home there's more to news than their backyard. That global jump didn't just grow her career, it grew her soul. Dana's big moment came as White House press secretary, a job that threw her into the deep end and dared her to swim. Picture this, daily briefings, cameras rolling, every word a potential headline. She had to sell Bush's policies, dodge tough questions, keep the room from spinning out of control. It was brutal, relentless, but Dana owned it. She brought grace to chaos, a calm that cut through the storm. She didn't just recite lines, she connected. Reporters saw a person, not a puppet, and that mattered. Critics came hard, sure, but Dana didn't buckle. She turned scrutiny into strength, building a rep as someone who could handle anything. That gig wasn't the end, it was a launch pad. She took those lessons to Fox, where her voice still cuts through the noise, sharp and real. Dana Perino's life isn't just a neatly typed resume you'd skim on a job application, it's a living, breathing playbook, a guidebook etched with hard-won wisdom for anyone bold enough to chase their wildest dreams. She's not just a name on a screen or a voice in a newsroom, she's proof, walking and talking, that setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're the raw material that shapes who you become. Think about it, from the schoolyard bullies in Wyoming who tried to dim her light to the high-stakes battles in the White House briefing room, Dana faced a chorus of no's that could have silenced her. But she didn't let them. Every rejection, every doubt, she flipped into a louder, fiercer, yes, a shout that echoed through her life. She turned taunts into tenacity, skeptics into stepping stones, building a path that didn't just lead to success but redefined it. For young women especially, she's a blazing beacon, a woman who's smart as a whip, tough as nails, and real in a world that often prizes plastic over heart. She didn't fake her way to the top with rehearsed lines or a polished mask, she lived it, raw and unfiltered, showing the world that authenticity isn't just a buzzword, it's a superpower that outshines any superficial shine. And then there's her marriage to Peter McMahon. That's the beating heart of her story, the quiet strength that pulses beneath it all. It's not just love in the fairy tale sense, all roses and candlelight, it's a partnership, deep and unshakable, the kind that lifts you up when life tries to knock you flat. They met by chance on a plane, a random spark that grew into a fireproof bond. When Peter's health faltered, when the days got dark and the nights got long, Dana didn't just stand by him, she held him up, a rock in a storm. It's the kind of love that doesn't flinch at hospital rooms or tough talks, the kind that says, we're in this together, no matter what. That partnership's been her anchor, her safe harbor, lifting her when she's weary, grounding her when the world spins too fast. Dana's not shy about it either, she'll tell you Peter's her everything, her teammate in a game that doesn't always play fair. It's a love that's weathered more than most, and it's still standing tall, a testament to what happens when two people choose each other, day after day, through the best and the worst. But Dana's reach goes beyond her home, beyond the personal. She's taken that big stage, the one she earned through grit and guts, and used it for something bigger than herself. She's pushed for truth in a media world that sometimes blurs it, fought for connection in a society that's pulling apart, and championed causes that hit close to her heart, from veterans to literacy. She's not just talking the talk, she's walking it, using her microphone to amplify what matters. Her legacy's still unfolding, still growing, a beautiful tangle of grit and grace that whispers to anyone listening, keep going. It's not about where you start, some small town or a nowhere job, it's about where you push yourself to land, how far you're willing to stretch, how deep you're willing to dig. Dana's life says you don't need a silver spoon or a straight shot, you need heart, hustle, and a stubborn streak that won't quit. Dana Perino's story isn't just about politics or the glow of a TV studio, it's the human spirit laid bare, alive and kicking. She's faced it all, health scares that shook her world, career climbs that tested her limits, personal doubts that crept in during quiet moments. Peter's illness wasn't just a chapter, it was a war she fought with love as her weapon, standing by him when the odds looked grim. Those lessons from Wyoming? They weren't just childhood memories, they were the roots of a resilience that carried her through press rooms and pundit fights. And that voice of hers, the one that won't quit? It's not just for breaking news, it's for breaking barriers, for speaking up when it counts. It all weaves together into one unshakable truth: resilience isn't a gift you're born with, it's a muscle you build, a choice you make every day. Dana's made that choice over and over, coming out stronger each time, her spirit forged in the heat of life's toughest moments. Today, she's still at it, still inspiring, still proving that with heart and hustle, you can build a life that doesn't just echo but reverberates. She's not coasting on past wins, she's out there, writing new chapters, facing new challenges with the same fire that got her here. For every young dreamer watching her, for every woman wondering if she's got what it takes, Dana's a living answer: yes, you do. Her journey's a celebration, not of perfection, but of persistence, of picking yourself up when the world knocks you down. Love for Peter keeps her steady, lessons from her past keep her sharp, and a voice that won't fade keeps her pushing. It's not over, not by a long shot. Dana Perino's still got more to say, more to give, more to show us about what it means to live a life that matters, a life that lasts.